Problems number 11 through 15. This time we have the universe being A, B, C, D, E. A is the set A, B, C, D. B is the set A, C. And C is the set B, D, E. Now you'll notice this time it does not ask you to draw the Venn diagram. Of course, there's nothing that's preventing you from doing that if you want to. So you could make the picture on the side on your own. But the point of these questions is to show you that you can do these questions, these kind of operations, without a picture in what we're going to call set algebra. So it's going to be more like what you're used to using, like with numbers with plus, minus, multiply, divide, except with sets. And so let me show you an example, and then I'll kind of go back and show you just one of these previous questions we did just to give you a further example, okay? So let's start with number 11 though. And okay, anytime you do these guys, the first step is to just rewrite the sets as they're defined here. Okay, so if you just do that first simple step, let's say this problem is on a test, right? You have the universe, you got the A, B, C, D, or ABC, I mean, and you're asked what is the union A union B. You'll get 1 free point just for writing this first easy step, and that's to say A union B is equal to, what is A? A is A, B, C, D. So I'm just going to replace that with A, B, C, D. Union, and then B is A, C. This, by the way, guys, this kind of algebra that we're about to do, this is something that I expect you to be able to reproduce. So this is exactly the kind of thing, one of the kind of skills that you would for sure see on an exam. Okay, so that very first step, all I did is just rewrite the question, and you get a free point for that. Partial credit already. Okay, the next step is to apply this union. The union. And what is the union? It says the end result should have everything that's either in one or the other. And so in that case, that would be the A, the B, the C, and the D for sure. And so I just really copied the first set I had. And then tack on anything that you did not have from the second set. So if there wasn't an A already, I would add that in. If there wasn't a C already, I would add that in. But I had both of those anyways. So my end result is just A, B, C, D. Okay, so that is the final answer for number 11. Oops. And you notice we did that completely without any pictures, right? Okay, moving on. Number 12. What's A union C this time? So A union C. Oh, you know what? I did something that's not so nice just now. The thing that I did that's not so nice is I kind of wrote everything horizontally. But if you have something that takes a lot of steps, that's not really a good practice. So what I recommend is actually write it this way instead. So this would be the work that I would show for problem number 11. And then you can even box your final answer to indicate that's your final answer. That's exactly what I would write for number 11 to get full credit. Okay, you know what, guys? Because I don't have a lot of space, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these questions one by one. So this was question 11. And then I'm just going to clear the board, clear the space so I can do the next question. All right, let me move this up. So let's and let me move that up, move this to the side, make everything a little bit clearer, make it clean, because when there's all this other writing and stuff, and sometimes it's kind of distracting, so let me get rid of all that. Let me even get rid of the highlighted part there. All right, so that was number 11. If you missed it, you can just rewind the video. Let's go into number 12. Okay, so number 12. What is A union C? Again, first step, I'm going to say A union C is equal to, and just replace A with what it is. We see A is A, B, C, D. Those elements. Rewrite that union symbol, and then rewrite C. What is C? C is B, D, and E. 1 point for free right there. Next, we're going to apply that union. The trick to applying the union is just to write everything that's in one of the sets. It's easiest if you pick the bigger one. And then tack on anything that you didn't yet get. So you already had B. You already had D. The only new thing is the E. So that E is going to end up in the union. And right there, final answer. I know I said to start with the bigger set, but if you want to just do it kind of like more routine, in a more routine manner, you can just start by writing the left set and then tack on anything that wasn't in there from the right set. Okay, that's the union. And that's question number 12. All right, on to question number 13. Let's do blue this time. Okay, you guys should be doing these questions on your own first before you see the answer. Yeah, so attempt them completely by yourself. That's the best way to learn the stuff. Because if you just watch me, you think you know what you're doing because you're seeing me do it. But then in reality, if you had to start from scratch, that's partially the hardest part, is like just getting started with the question. Okay, so what is 13? 13 is a complement. How do I rewrite the question to get my free point? Well, write what A is. It's A, B, C, D. Those elements in a set. And then write the complement bar over that. Okay, that's it. Next step, I'm going to write the complement. Remember, the complement is everything that's in the universe that's not an A, not a B, not a C, and not a D. If I look at my universe, that only leaves an E, right? So A complement is just the set E. Okay, now let's say you're not so confident with that answer because that seemed like a little strange, right? Well, one thing you can do is just draw the Venn diagram for these three and then sketch out the complement and see if it matches this. If you draw it correctly and you have the picture matching what you ended up with in your algebra, then the chances are that you have it correct. You have a good chance, if you did both of them and they end up the same, then you have a good chance that you're correct. If one of them is mismatched, then obviously you're wrong at some point. One of the ways you did it is wrong, right? It's unlikely that both will be wrong. Okay, what is both will be wrong and end up the same, I mean. Okay, what is number 14 now? 14, we've got A intersect C. Again, first step always, just rewrite it. I've got A, B, C, D for A. Intersect symbol, and B, D, E for C. Since this time I'm looking for an intersection, I'm looking for things that they have in common. They have B in common, they have D in common, and that's it. So my final answer is going to be those two things that they have in common, the B and the D, in the fancy brackets. That was number 14. Okay, on to the last one. So pause the video if you need to look at the answer longer. Last one. Number 15. Last one of this type, yeah? Okay, B intersects C this time. So B was A and C. Intersect in between. And C was B, D, and E. Okay, that's the first step, free point. Now we're looking for where those guys overlap, what they have in common. Let's see, they have nothing in common because there's no A on the side, on the right side. There's no C, right? So there's nothing in common. What happens in that? What happens when there's nothing in common? I'm looking for where they overlap. But there's nothing in that they have where they overlap. So then the answer is going to be the empty set. It's a set with nothing in it. So that's your answer, empty set. Okay. Word of caution, guys. Sometimes people write this. That's wrong. That's wrong. You can't write the empty set inside of the symbols. That means something totally different. That's not the empty set. So pick one or the other. Don't write both of them. Okay. You could have alternatively chosen this other notation. If you don't like that empty bracket notation, you could have written the 0 with a slash through it. But just pick one or the other. Okay, so I wanted to look at this old set of questions from that perspective of the algebra. What I'm going to do, just pick what I think is maybe the hardest one and just do that, absent of the picture. So the one I think was the most involved would be question number 4. So last time we did question number 4, we obtained the answer by looking at the diagram we drew, right? So I'm going to leave that one answer up. And let's just redo that question with the algebra, okay? So this time I'm going to do it, yeah, like this. Okay, so B union C complement is what I'm after. Now, how would I approach that? So just to remind you, if we're back in question number 4, then we're in this universe. B is that set of numbers, C is that set of numbers, and the universe is this set of numbers. So the first step that you do here, I'm going to erase this too. So we already saw how the Venn diagram led us to that answer right there, 9, 8, 10. So first thing I'm going to do is the same thing I always do. Rewrite the question, but replace it with what those sets actually are. So B is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Union with C, which is 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then just write all the other symbols intact. So I got the parentheses, I got the complement bar over the top. And now what happens first? Well, kind of just like with numbers, parentheses are going to happen first. And in fact, what we'll see later is if you have a bar over the whole thing, even without the parentheses, you still would do everything underneath that bar first. That bar being over the whole thing, it acts kind of like there's an invisible parentheses. Anyways, let's take the union. I'm going to start by rewriting everything on the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tack on anything I didn't already have, which is the 6 and 7. Yeah. So I just did the union just now, but I have not done the complement yet, so I should remain with that complement over the intermediate step I just drew. Now I take the complement. To take the complement, I'm looking at my universe over here. And anything I did not have in this set here, but is in the universe, that's going to be my final answer. So I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but I don't have an 8, don't have a 9, don't have a 10. So I end up with 8, 9, 10. And that's my answer. And look, it matches this guy. Now I know the order is different, but remember we said order is not important. So it's the same answer. I think my comments got deleted somehow, so I just redrew them. All right, guys, take a little breather here. Pause the video if you need to. I feel like that's been going kind of long. So take a little breather before we head to the last 2 questions, okay? Okay, pause yourself. Pause the video. Take a deep breath. Here we go, last 2 questions. What I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to show you how we'd approach question number 16. And then, oh, shucks, I just realized. I can't really answer number 16 the normal way I do it, because normally I'd ask, I do a survey of whoever is present, but since I'm recording this by myself, I have to just make up numbers. Okay, so let's say I just ask the class, and let's say that I don't know, 17 people liked cats, and then I had let's say 7 people like lizards. And then of those 7 people that like lizards, 6 of them also raised their hands for cats. So that means they liked both. Okay, so those are my numbers I'm working with. And the class has in a class of 30, which is a usual class size for Math 100. Okay, so in a class of 30, 17 like cats, 7 like lizards, and 16 like both. So we're going to make the Venn diagram for that. I'm going to use number 16 as an example, and then you guys will try number 17 before you watch the rest of the video, okay? So here's number 16. How would you make a Venn diagram for this situation? Well, the first tip is to always start with the overlap. So here, I'm going to draw my universe. Whoa! My circle's so bad. You thought it was a septagon or something. Okay, anyway, so here's the likes cats category. Here's the likes lizards category. Here's my universe of people. The universe of the 30 people, actually. And I'm going to start in the center, the overlap. So always start right here when you're drawing this Venn diagram. The reason why is because if you don't start there, you're going to end up double counting. So I'm going to start just with writing the numbers of people that are in that region. So 6 people like both, right? So those are the 6 people right there in the center. Now I got to fill in this number and that number, but keep in mind, I already have 6 in the center. So 17 people like cats, That means this number right here should be 11. Because 11 plus 6 equals 17, right? If I was to write 7, because here's the common error. A lot of people will write 17 here. That is wrong. Because if I write 17 here and I have 6 there, that means a total of, what's 17 plus 6? 23. That means 23 people like cats, but that's not right. Only 17 people liked cats, right? So what should you actually do? Do what we did the first time. 11 people like cats in that category. Cats and only cats. Lizards, there's going to be just one person that likes lizards but does not like cats. Because 7 total, right? 6 plus 1 is 7. And then you total up these three numbers. 11 plus 6 is 17 plus 1 more is 18. So I've got 18 accounted for in the union here. But there were 30 people in the class. That means 12 people did not like either of them. Did not like cats, did not like lizards. Now let's answer the questions. How many only like cats? 11. That's this category, right? How many do not like either? So the haters out there, 12. How many people like cats or lizards? Okay, here's a quick tricky question, guys. If it does not say specifically not both, then when we say or, we mean the union, the inclusive or. That means the 11 plus the 6 plus the 1 all together. That will be 18 is the answer, 18. If it says not both, that's when we exclude the center. But if it does not specifically specify, then we include all three. Okay, that's number 16. And number 17, very similar. You got 100 people. Yes, thank you for recognizing my rectangle. And we've got people who like their favorite foods. There are 100 people total. 30 like soap bars. Okay, so soap bars is going to be one category. People who like soap bars. But we'll just say soap bars for short. Or just soap for short. And 60 like bug leather. Okay, so let's just say bug for short. 15 like both. Remember, we always start in the intersection with that center part, the 15. 30 like soap bars, that means 15 more here. And 60 like bug leather, that means 45 more right there. Add those numbers up. 15 plus 15 is 60. Wait, no, I'm sorry. 15 plus 15 is 30, I mean. 30 plus 45 is 75. That means there's 25 out here unaccounted for. Now let's answer our questions. How many like soap only? 15. That's that group right there, right? How many like these foods? That's kind of a weird way of saying how many are in the union. How many like one or the other, or possibly both? 15 plus 15 plus 45 is that 75 we had. How many did not like either? That's a group of 25 out there. There you go. And if you want to be proper, you can label these numbers. 25 people should be, yeah? You learn that in like your 5th grade class. Always label your answers. These are people. Same like these two. These are people. Okay. Okay, guys. Whew. Finished. Have a great day. I will see you in the next class. Bye-bye.